kiss. Keep it simple, stupid.
Tell me, boy.
I'm paranoid, I'm paranoid, I'm paranoid, bitch, I'm paranoid, I'm paranoid, I'm paranoid, I'm paranoid, bitch, I'm paranoid.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer did a lot of coke. Something happened with his nose that he almost fucking overdosed. Oh, sorry. That's not how it
keep
goes?
going.
You're not
Keep
in a
going.
spiritual, jolly feeling day?
I'm more of Batman smells. That's more of me.
Oh, you're talking about Jingle Balls, Batman Smiles, Robin, Aiden, X. The Batmobile lost the wheel, Joker got away.
Hey!
The Batman's in the kitchen, Robin's in the hall. Joker's in the bathroom, pissing on the wall.
We're never having those.
Testicles 1, 2. Testicles!
Yes, sir. We're back at it. A young crack addict. We back.
We're not so young anymore, dog. We're gonna be crack addicts. We're gonna be old crack addicts now.
We skid roll type of people?
Oh, wait, that's fucked up. Nah, dog, like you overkill. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Paranoid Radio Podcast, the best show with the best content for the best fucking listeners. I am your humble host, Trebles Garcia, and joining me in the ones and twos is the best co-host in the motherfucking planet. Big Tech, salute.
Salute,
That's
with shake
right.
the bacon.
I'm fucking doing the do, baby boo. Pikachu, I choose you. What's poppin'? How you doing, dog?
Oh, big dog.
Enjoying the holiday cheer?
I don't know about all that.
Oh, shit.
I'm enjoying the holiday pizza. I'll tell you that right now. I'll tell you that right now.
What is that?
Shit.
Is that like, what is that? Is that like a dish or a pastry? What is that? Putisa?
A putisa? A putisa is a native dish from Somaliland.
You just told me to go fuck my own mom. That's fucked up. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Paranoid Radio Podcast, and we drop weekly episodes for the people that are tuning in barely now. I want to thank you guys because we just got a report card from Anchor FM, and we just found out that 78% of the people that actually came to listen to our show is now staying in our show because you guys found us in 2023. I also want to thank every single collaborator for promoting us. And the blowout is crazy because around this time last year, we only had 750 followers. Today, and counting, we have 18,600 followers and counting. And I want to thank all of you guys. I want you guys to please continue not only following and sharing and commenting and liking, but if you can't, word of mouth, pass that blunt around and make sure you tell somebody else about the show. Word of mouth is what really helps. And obviously, don't forget to drop a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. That allows other people to enjoy the show as much as I enjoy making it. ParanoidRadio.com is now available and active, and you can check us out globally. ParanoidRadio.com. You could also listen to 5 most recent episodes and watch the 2 most important episodes of the month. Absolutely free, unedited, unfiltered, and unbothered. Paranoid Radio Podcast is here to stay, and this is going to be a classic episode, Evil Santa 2. And we're not jumping into the deep. We're not going to jump into the deep side of the deep end of the pool just yet, because we have an announcement. Around this time last year, Tank sit on a chair, on a box, and broke the randomizing machine. And for the people that do not know what this machine does, this machine is an absolute fucking weird fucking thing that controls not only the algorithms, but the way we sound, the way we look, and everything. The entire show is this machine. It's a machine. And the thing is that the machine was originally made in French, and Tank only speaks stupid, so we couldn't translate. And now we got shipped in from the motherland. Hitler himself made this fucking straight from Germany. Get in the chopper now. A Big Tank, please connect the randomizing machine 3.0. And
this one just said Hitler made the machine? First of all, let's dive into that.
No, wait.
I mean,
Okay, so what happened to the old machine tank? Like, why'd you even break it? Like, what happened?
I was tired of it. It got stupid. It's like looking at your face. There's only so much I can take. I mean, it's just
What
fucking
the fuck?
retarded. I mean, it's a face only a mother could love. Your mom dropped you on purpose, big dog. I don't know what else to tell you.
That's
She
so
seen
fucked
you and
up.
she got scared, fool. Like, okay. Put it this way. When it's Halloween, you're socially acceptable. Now, one day, the whole fucking year, that's the only time you're socially acceptable. Besides
Okay.
that, fool, it's just overkill.
I have no comeback. Put your back. You actually brought your shit talking to you today. Your STD. Big time. Connect the random answer machine and give me the listener of the week.
Random Nice Machine, do your thing.
Paranoid Radio.
Listen to that baby purr. Big Tag, who do we have?
Joe Reezy from Cave Podcast. Massive shout out. This episode goes out to you. We hope you love it. We hope you learn something. And we hope we can catch you on the next fly.
Ooh, Joe Reezy
Yeah.
from K4V3 Podcast. Their podcast is a fucking amazing, ladies and gentlemen. They revolve around gaming, sports, conspiracy theories, but most importantly, sharing the fucking truth from the cave to the world. Joe Reezy, we hope you enjoy this episode. This episode goes out to you and your team. Now, it's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Paranoid Radio. Big Tech, what is happening?
What is happening with people? You guys know the deal. Whoa, no, we've actually been gone for quite a minute. Let's be honest.
What is
about it.
happening?
What
It's
is
back
happening?
as a segment?
That's
Wait,
what I said.
hold your
What
fucking
the
horses.
Incoming news. Alert, alert, alert. Hit the
Do
button.
that. How? Do it again. Do it again. That's fucking retarded. What you got for me? Wait. You have 2 cents? How many cents you got now?
Okay, for the people that haven't heard us or that haven't been listening in or know what is happening, it's a pretty OG show where basically I bring in 2 stories that I find across the world, across the US, across Cali, whatever the fuck it is, and I bring it into you, and I want you guys to give me your official input. So that's why we say right here at Paranoid Radio, brought to you by What Is Happening. I'm gonna bring you guys 2 stories, and I want you guys' official 2 cents plus my 2 cents. I'm gonna pause that bitch into the bank of knowledge.
Ooh, the bank of knowledge. It feels good. It feels good to be back, dog. It feels good to have a classic show.
It feels stupid.
It feels stupid. I get to be me again. All right, Big
Stupid
Ty,
is
what are your 2
good.
stories?
So, first one, right out of the gate, we're going something deep, something big, something heavy. Are you
That's
ready
what she
for
said.
20? Are you ready for 2024?
No.
So,
Okay.
if you guys don't understand this,
Mhm.
we have officially lost all major platforms to your social media era. At this point, it is basically 1 or 2 of them, which is basically Meta, that control just about everything.
Mm.
Okay, so it has been said that moving forward, we are now going to see a decline in technology, believe it or not.
What?
And that technology is always advancing. Okay. So before you go off,
Uh-huh.
we always believe that we need to keep on rising and going and going and going. That's how we've always been taught. Yeah, that's how we've always been taught. Break the ceilings, break the barriers, break everything.
Mhm.
Okay, we've actually started to gone to the era where everything's gonna be flatlining back to a normal level sense. You have to remember, we spoke about this just the other day, how in 20 years we've been able to progress from a big thick phone to something ultra thin, slim, sleek.
Yeah.
There has been a decline in technology ever since that. So,
Uh-huh.
and this ties into the social media thing.
Mm.
So, the Meta which is, we all know is Instagram, Facebook for the most part, with a bunch of little some contagious ones, have been running a census on what people actually want to see. And they ran a poll, and they've actually been saying that a lot of stuff that's been going on won't be reached anytime soon. You have to remember in the show, the movie Back to the Future, a lot of people stated that around this time we would have flying/hovering cars.
Okay.
We're nowhere near that.
Yeah, false advertising. Fuck that. I want to sue that shit. Bitch
Shut the
ass.
fuck up. Why they lie to me? Why they lie to me? I hurt my feelings. So, in reality, what do you think our next great advancement would be? I mean, can we really go any thinner phones without breaking them? How much more sleeker can our cars get, our vehicles get? What are we gonna do? Just start talking to each other telepathically? They have those new sunglasses from Ray-Bans that you could hear, where it has the bone technology, where you can start hearing.
I've seen earphones that do that bone marrow thing. A lot of construction workers and contractors use them because by law in California, well, you can't use them because it's code. You need to listen to what's happening around you because of construction, right? Whatever. So your question is, how far more can we go? And it's going to be flatlining. I see what it might come to. I think we've hit a cap in not only innovation but also creativity because of AI. I think AI is probably the best tool that will manage to almost perfect, or it'll be able to perfect itself by holding us back. So you might just have something here where a conspiracy theory might just be brewing, and we might just be entering an era of technology at halt for humanity, but improved for itself, if it makes any sense.
100%. I mean, let's be honest. A lot of stuff that has been produced have been a lot of fails, but a lot of victories as well. You get me? Yeah. I mean, let's use one of the most basic things. How about we actually start improving on stuff that needs to be improved on? For example, we still got a bunch of shitty car companies that, and I quote, don't improve because the product sells so well. Okay, I'll give you a good car. I mean, a idolized car, a Jeep. A lot of people love Jeeps. They love slapping rims and everything. But did you know the motor hasn't been touched the design of the motor and the actual design of it hasn't been touched in over 60 years?
Get the fuck out of here. And you know what? You're right. Call of Duty, instead of bringing you and giving you a new game, they sold us a fucking DLC, slapped it with the fucking logo of Modern Warfare 3, put some zombies in that bitch, and they resold us an old game. And not only old game because of the engine for graphics that they're using, but they fucking sold us the old PlayStation 3 era Modern Warfare maps. So 110%. Right. Technology is going backwards on a stalemate fucking flatline. Fuck you, Activision. Word.
not only that. Okay, think about it in this sense. Whenever you buy something, look at the phones, okay? How much has really changed? We had the iPhone 5 through almost 8 that look almost identical. They just started getting more. They started getting more rounded, and then we had 8 to 10.
The 5 looked like the 12 today, and then it went from six to the 11 in circle form, like little round tips, and then went from 12 to 15, exactly the same. So the past 5 years, we've been having the same fucking phone.
Exactly. Word. I mean, another thing about it. I mean, you just really have to think about it. How much have we actually say they progress, but it's all really the same. We had the whole theory of a water combustion engine that was supposed to revolutionize, but somehow that guy got killed off. You get me?
Yeah. Somebody hit some house, he died.
Yeah. So if it was really that important, don't you think other people would have picked it up, or are people really that scared? That would have been hell of a new technology.
A multi-billion-dollar company like Elon Musk's company, instead of investing in so much fucking corruption and pollution by taking out the electric battery out of the ground and creating it and putting it on slapping it on an overpriced Tesla, he should have fucking done the water combustion car instead, and that would have been a different route. It's fucking crazy, dog. You're absolutely right, dog. What you got for number 2?
On to the next one. As we all know, population has been rising and moving and migrating. Everything has been going on super crazy in California. Beyond here. Okay, just within the California, the Los Angeles district, we've seen a massive, almost 10% drop in population. Believe it or not, Boyle Heights, East LA, Almani have all seen reduction in population. Yeah, big dog.
Why?
People are still moving because it's expensive to live here. People
Word.
are not afraid. You have to remember, 20 years ago, the high desert area, Riverside area, people hated moving out there. That was like the least of it. You could get a nice house for under $1,000 in rent.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say about 8 years ago or less, it was easy to say, I'm going to Bakersfield, I'm gonna go to Riverside,
Yeah.
work in LA, live in Riverside, and pay $1,200 for a 2-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
Now you pay $1,200 maybe for a garage attached to another fucking house with no restroom access and no kitchen access.
Yes. Okay. So
Oh,
a lot of
fuck.
celebrities are actually leaving the LA residence. A lot of them are even moving out of state.
Yes, Big Daddy.
110%. And we were just talking about this. We were. Well, we had said that we were possibly maybe even thinking of relocating somewhere else. Not together, but just thinking about relocation overall. And it's coming up where they're calling it the Great Migration. We have to remember the Great Migration, when it happened, it was east traveling to west.
Whoa.
Now it's reverse effect. Now we're done with this place. We don't want to be here no more. Let's move back that way.
Holy fuck,
How do you feel about that? I mean, obviously, what we're talking about. Obviously,
Yeah.
California has a lot of laws, regulations, type of deal. But you just can't beat, realistically, you just can't beat the temperature. You get
It
me?
has to be. Obviously, California is one of the most beautiful places to live in the fucking world. Very few can compare to California. And not just because I'm a California. I'm not saying that just because of that. I'm saying it because it's fucking factual. There's only a few places on the earth that can match the fucking tropical, beautiful weather that we have here. And obviously, the fucking terrain. And then you have, but this kind of shows you that there's a lot of more gun lovers out there and not so many gay people out there. And not everybody wants to live because gun laws here are the worst almost in the entire country. And not everybody here is fucking gay like the fucking media wants to put out. I was watching Disney Plus 2 nights ago, and I was watching the fucking series called Goosebumps. I grew up on the books Goosebumps. I grew up on Dr. Seuss and Goosebumps, and I just went on. And Goosebumps back then, when I was in fucking middle school and elementary school, and I was reading those books, it was offensive almost. It was borderline racist sometimes. Like the black kid always died, the Asian girl never made it, and I found out that Chinese girls had horizontal pussies. Now, that's not the point. The point is that now, if you go to Disney Plus and watch Goosebumps, it's like super woke. It's cringe. You're like, what the fuck, dog? Like, everybody's gay. Everybody's talking about pronouns and using binary fucking restrooms. Dog, it's a fucking whatever. It's a fucking scary series. Stick to the script. You're like, why? Like, why do you want to do this to yourself? Like Elon Musk just said, they're boycotting not only California, and they're like asking him, like, don't you want Disney to fucking run advertisements on X, on Twitter? And he's like, no, fuck them all. And like, what are you gonna do? Boycott Disney? He goes, they already are. There's so much money getting lost by Disney right now because everybody's boycotting. Nobody wants to be gay. Sorry, not sorry. Hey,
way out of proportion. Okay.
Yo, come on. Oh God.
But okay. That is the world that we live in, though. So
Yeah.
technically, isn't it reality?
It's reality for only the 12% of people that live here. Not everybody's gay.
Agreed.
There's 72? There's 82% of us that are not gay, that are all heterosexual and want to have babies the natural way. 88, sorry. The other 12, the other 12 is just... Shut the fuck up. The other 12 just put their dicks in each other's asses, all right? Shut the fuck up. How are you going to be in California a guy... Yeah, I give you the scissors. How do you want to be a guy? You want to be a guy that's transitioning into a girl, but only want to date girls. You're a transsexual lesbian?
Okay. It's not perfect. Okay.
Get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. But back to the main thing.
Yeah.
Are you really willing to sacrifice the California lifestyle? Well, the California climate.
And the family. Yeah.
No, forget about the family. Let's just talk about strictly about the climate.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I can't say yes because I don't know what I'm dealing with in Texas yet, because that's where I want to go. So I don't know what I'm dealing with in Texas. I heard that when it gets hot, it gets hot. When it gets cold, it gets really cold. So it's not like Cali. However, yeah, bro. Sometimes you have to make some sacrifices, dog. And you have kids.
I don't think you would do it.
You don't think I would do it? I don't think you
No.
would do it. And then you throw your reflection upon me.
No,
I don't think you
I
would
don't think you would do it. No. And I'm a personal story. You guys are very active. You guys love going out.
Yeah.
You
There's
only
urban
have
cities
about-
out there
you,
too.
You only no, it's not the same. It's not the same. No. Urban cities, yes, 110%. What I'm telling you is the actual climate level between everything is you only have about 2 months. Either the rest of that, it's either way too hot or way too cold. You wake up to 80-degree weather.
Yeah.
That's waking up to 80-degree weather. You get me?
Wait, nigga.
we don't have-
Nigga, wait, stop. You wake up?
You wake up to 80-degree weather.
Let me rethink this whole thing over. Can we start it? Can you continue this conversation and what is happening on the next episode, please? Rock it out.
Until the next time. This is what is happening. Let us know what you think. Give me these 2 stories. We'll continue from there.
That is right. Big Daddy, Big Tank. Thank you so much for those 2 amazing stories. As always, rocking the fucking cages and making some fucking noise. Always delivering on time. Big Tank with what is happening. Please give a round of applause, everybody. That sounds like I'm moaning, huh? It doesn't even sound like a fucking round of applause.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have an amazing episode lined up for all of you guys, and we're here to destroy your fucking holidays. 2 years ago, Big Tank had the brightest fucking idea.
Two.
Yeah, not just one, but 2 dicks. I mean, double penetrate. I mean, 2 years ago, Tank had the great idea to bring forth the truth of the holiday season. And he told the idea to a fucking conspiracy theorist, which is me. Unfortunately, I managed to destroy the holiday season, not only for myself and for Big Tank, but for everybody that's fucking listening. So this year, after I skipped a year, trying to redeem myself, I'm here to destroy the fucking holiday season again. And now, please allow me to jump in from the deep end of the pool and set the fucking mood. Striking with iron is fucking hot. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be talking about one of the most glorified characters of all history. Repackaged and resold to us in many different ways through the sands of times by a bunch of different civilizations, ancient civilizations at that were in power at one time and fucking eaten up by all of us every single winter solstice. Welcome to the destruction of the holiday cheer season and Evil Santa 2. Yeah.
Question. Up to what age would you say that you believed in Santa?
Good question. I want to say maybe like early 7 years old. Like I wasn't really always like into him.
So, especially in a old school household, I remember this one time that I literally saw my dad cover himself with a blanket, go like this, and say, "This was for so and so. This was for so and so," and it didn't shock me realistically. It really did. But it was just like, oh,
that's when you found out.
Santa.
Yeah, like it's not your dad dressed as Santa. I remember I'm fucking brown as fuck. I remember one time my dad told me dress up as Santa because she's the tallest son that I have, and I had to dress up as Santa. And everybody knew there was no fucking such thing as Black Santa. Get the fuck out of here. I'm not trying to be racist. But let's jump into the deep end of the pool about fucking evil Santa. And the most important thing I wanted to tell you guys is that it's gonna blow your fucking mind and it's gonna get cringy. So make sure you fucking, get ready. And if you have any kids, any fucking underage kids that are listening to the show that still believe in Santa Claus, put them away and skip this fucking part. First created in December 36 AD, before Common Era. No, BC, which is before Common Era. Christmas was created. It originally began as a fucking pagan holiday, and people will start celebrating and then celebrating the winter solstice. Again, the ending of the year, etc., etc. But what you guys don't know that this was not only repackaged, but also resold by the Catholic Church. Now, on Saturday 1, we spoke about many different things, and I'm gonna bring those topics back. And Big Tank, please allow me to fucking fuck shit up. First of all, do you know why there's a tradition of taking your kid to the mall and sitting the baby on the lap of a Santa Claus? And I've said this a couple times on the show before. Tradition of sitting the baby.
Modernized.
It is modernized, but the tradition actually goes back all the way to the behaviors and ritualistic events of they were called, let me get my notes out, Moabites. Ancient Sumerian tribes used to fucking get this giant iron and fucking bare copper statue of Moloch, and they will stuff it with coals. Now, the babies that were born in the summer solstice on the longest day of the year, they would sacrifice these infants, put her on the fucking on the lap of these burning hot fucking statues on the longest night of the year, which was the middle of the winter solstice.
Okay.
As a sacrificial, and then they would present 12 different wishes, so that Moloch would grant them the wishes by the time the new year came in. They would sacrifice their infant kids on the longest night of the year so that their crops would grow and they would have a successful year up ahead. Now, talk about weird.
I think that's a little bit of a reach. I see the similarities. Okay, the 12, the lap, and everything. I think it's a little bit of a reach, though. Because okay. If you really think about it, yes, has it been repackaged? 110%. Everything has, realistically. But how would you say that the gift-giving idea came about then, realistically?
Well, good thing that you mentioned that, and I'm gonna put that towards the end. Remember this fucking question and bring that question back of the presents right before we end.
Okay.
Now we all know that back when we spoke about the Bohemian Grove on one of the episodes of season 2, we mentioned that child sacrifice and adrenochrome harvesting is a huge market and ritualistic drug that allows elites to stay in power and look great as it reverses your aging, right? We've spoken about this before. Now you're gonna fucking trip out because did you know that? You're gonna trip out because I'm gonna drop a fucking huge bomb on you. Do you know why we use stockings during the Christmas season?
No. I technically I know the public bad version where if you were bad they'd shove coal in it technically, but that's about it.
The original story comes back to where Saint Nicholas is one of the most famous incidents where in his life he was rescuing 3 girls from being forced into prostitution by their husbands by dropping a sack of gold coins through the window of their house each night for 3 nights so that their father could pay their dowry for each of them. Dowry is the fucking bribe you give the husband to borrow your wife. And all of these girls were underage girls. Everything here is connected to child trafficking. Now, you asked the question of why presents. Okay, this is where the next step comes in. Now, you're gonna fucking laugh, but you remember Saturnalia, right? Saturnalia it's the predecessor, ancient Greek predecessor of Xmas, the Christmas. Now, during the Roman Empire, they would have a 12-day holiday celebration to celebrate the planet of Saturn, aka the god Cronus, father of ancient Greek gods. Yes, and he's also the father of time. All right. And remember, Cronus is not only the father of time, but he also killed his own father by castrating his father, and then went on to murder his own children by eating thousands of his infants because one of the prophecies foretold that one of his childs was gonna fucking overthrow him. His child's name was Zeus. This is where Zeus, what's his name?
Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades took over.
Yes, took over and destroyed. Right now
they
again,
got rid of the Titans, and then that's when the gods came in.
Absolutely, but Cronus used to eat his kids, his own kids. Saturn, Cronus, father of time, used to eat his own fucking children at the belly. Again, child trafficking, harvesting fucking adrenochrome, eating babies' flesh, harvesting kids' energy. You could say this into a metaphor, but it connects why Christmas is still revolving around kids. Yeah, I'm still remembering your question from the presents, and I'm gonna bring that towards the end. So far, how are we doing, Big Tank?
Okay. I'm having a little bit of issue just in the sense because not even 100 years ago, a
Mhm.
12, 13, 14-year-old was considered a woman. So imagine going further back than that.
So your question is not that you're
It's,
trying to
it's
sound
not
like
it's,
a
it's,
pedo
it's,
here,
it's not
but
my
yeah.
question. Yeah, the way you're sounding, I mean, I'm hoping you're talking about fucking 6, 7-year-old kids, you get me? But
Uh-huh.
realistically, think about it in this sense. Not even 100 years ago, and I will testify that my grandmother, which is still in
Mhm.
the rule, which we're talking about rural ages of Mexico during that time,
Word.
she
Okay.
got married. She got married at 12, 13. You get me?
Hmm.
She was already officially a woman at that point. You get me?
Uh-huh.
My grandpa only beat her by like 2 years, realistically. You get me? So it wasn't that much of a. It was still kids taking care of kids. So the only question that I have is there a specific age? Because I get the whole child trafficking and everything, but I
Hmm.
mean we're only talking about 100 years ago, and we should
Uh-huh.
have had a little bit more common sense by then, realistically.
Okay.
But if
Uh-huh.
we're going back a little bit further than that, I mean, is it really that far out of deep? Because you go to a lot of these Middle Eastern or even Philippines, all these type of places, the China-Vietnam border, where it's okay, and they'll pay dowries, something as cheap as $500, and basically get a wife. You get me?
You
Um,
know what?
so
I remember reading this fucking passage in one of these fucking deep dives that I did where sometimes the ancients, not the ancients, some of these farmers that used to have nothing but daughters used to feed their babies a lot of, I don't know if it was a particular type of plant that would make them have their period sooner. Hashtag look it up. I forgot the name of the plant. And they would drink it as fucking like drinking milk in the morning. And they would have fucking they would maximize the ability, not maximize the ability. They would speed up the process of the girl going into puberty and having their periods, because having their period would signify that they were women and ready to procreate, which means getting married. And a lot of these times, you had to come and give a goat and your weight in gold to get married to a daughter. So if you were a farmer with 2, 3 daughters, you couldn't get rid of them. I mean, you couldn't wait to get rid of them.
cha-ching, homie. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So
So you're right. You're right. In a sense, it does make sense. When do you call a woman? Yeah, but I mean, okay.
No. I'm not disputing it. I'm not disputing it. You get me? They
Uh-huh.
just I mean we're talking about years back, you get me? So I'm just
Uh-huh.
wondering if it could have been misinterpreted. You get me? Obviously right now we see a 13, 14-year-old getting married, fucking red flags go up everywhere. What the fuck is happening? I mean, okay, you're a father of a daughter. I'm not. I have a boy. I only have a boy. But you're a father of a
Mhm.
daughter. I don't think realistically you could possibly say, especially in the era that we're in right now, that it would be okay for your daughter to get married, or let's say something a little bit more realistic, a daughter getting pregnant at 13, 14. That would be really like frowned upon in this day and age, because that's really young. Realistically, that's really young.
Well, let's put it to you like this. And then again, I'm not sympathizing people getting married underage. I'm not
No, no,
sympathizing
no, 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 no.
again, and I'm not sympathizing with the people that are 30 years old that are hunting a 14-year-old and then trick them into marriage, because that's still called considered rape, because a
Of
14-year-old
course, of
does not
course,
know what's better for them
of
still.
course, a
Even
hundred
not
and ten
even a,
percent.
put it to you, not even a 21-year-old knows what's better for them. Like I'm
No,
let's
no,
be
no, of
realistic here.
course.
Okay, so but if you want to put it into context, a lot of the women that were growing back then in the day were a lot more mature. They had things to do. They were ready to become a wife. Not like our daughters nowadays. Our daughters are overprivileged and they don't even know how to fucking speak right. So I mean,
Uh,
look, right, and not only our daughters, some of our sons are only good for one thing. And back then, they would give you a last name according to what you were good for and how you would contribute into their society. For example, blacksmith, Smith, etc., right? So if you have a last name that had no background, for example, Alice, that we're fucking from conquistadors, our last names come from a conquistador era. Now, even the people that were before that, they all had last names that would pertain to what they were really specializing throughout their lives. See what I'm saying? So they all
yeah.
had a role to play in society. Now, what role do we play? The fucking dancer role on TikTok, and us as podcasters, the best podcast on the fucking planet. Don't forget, paranoidradio.com. Now,
Yes.
but wait, but right before we even get off topic, do you remember when I told you that Cronus was the father of time?
Yes.
Can you tell me what other fucking superpower Santa Claus is known to have?
roll around the whole world they within a couple hours and just be
Time
fucking
manipulation.
yeah, 110%,
Oh,
110.
so here comes the point where you get your answered question of the presents. If you
Okay.
can tell me that we're worshiping Santa Claus, because we don't even worship Christmas anymore. We worship Santa Claus and the presents. We worship Santa Claus. What is if Santa Claus is known that hoing around is not the only thing he does. He also does time manipulation. That means he's the father of time equals Cronus equals Saturnalia. So the repackaging of this entire Christmas Eve or Christmas celebration is not only to worship Satan, but to be blinded by Satan, the fucking author of all lies. Wait. Check this out. And we are not in knowing that we're celebrating Satan because we're covered in a fucking smoke, like in a little smoke shield, a little fucking a smoke show of presents hiding behind consumption. And believe it or not, consumption is also one of the biggest sins in the Bible, where you overindulge, where you go into debt. And all of this it all circles around in the celebration of evil, bro. And money is the root of all evil. And what do you spend mostly during the fucking holiday season? Money. And you spend all year the next year paying your debts off. You see what I'm saying, right? Dog, it's
Yeah.
huge, bro.
Unless
it's
which none of us are, unless we're talking about boomers, and even before that, that would have money saved up. But you're fucking right. It is true. Um, Realistically, people go extra special throughout these years. They even like to front that they have money by giving out these elusive gifts when they're probably just maxing out their credit cards. Not to say that people don't have money. People really do have money. But
Mhm.
realistically, a lot of people go into this heavy debt that takes them 7, 8 months to pay off, and then they do the same thing all over. Or people you actually even go into fucking just debt overall. They'll just fucking swipe, cool, payday. I don't want to pay no more. Just have it. So Christmas has definitely gone away from what it was, even if it even was that realistically, if it actually
Yeah.
was that joyous thing where you're giving somebody to give to make somebody's life feel better. I mean, because I'm pretty sure there's been plenty times throughout the year where you'll do something and you'll really feel good about yourself, or you make
Yeah.
somebody's day. You get me?
Uh-huh.
So I do see it being just perverted towards the sick, the meaning. I mean, shit, I got a kid right now, and an Amazon book came in, and I shit you not, he doesn't know how to write or anything, but somehow he knew to circle whatever he wanted. Papa, I want this, I want this, I want this, and this, and this. I mean, so, and we're talking about a 3-year-old that, yes, Christmas is everywhere, but doesn't know anything, but somehow he's already expecting it. Could it be through programming? Maybe.
Program. And even the word Christmas, they took away the name Christ in Christmas and they put an X on it.
Uh,
Dog, look. Eliminating the Christmas from the Christ from Christmas is not only in the name, but it's also in the value of the day of the holiday. Because, not like you said, you have a 3-year-old that doesn't even know why the tree is there, why they have ornaments, what the North Star means, why the evergreen tree is used inside your house as for a Christmas ornament, or that Christmas is the mass of God's birth. He thinks it's present time consumption.
uh,
So
uh,
and that's, I mean, dog, we live in a fucking privileged world. And just to tie the knot on Santa being Satan, even if you fucking rearrange his name around, it'll fucking print out Satan. If you go to the Webster's dictionary right now and you go to Webster's, this is not just any fucking website. Go to Webster's dictionary and put Old Nick, enter, and see what comes up. It's another name for the devil. Hashtag look it up. GTS that shit.
so
Fucking wild.
one thing that I did do some research on when it did get pulled up was the actual origin of Krampus, which is a little different,
Hit me. Okay.
So Krampus is basically the anti Santa per se, where he's been having a lot of issues. I'm wondering if that applies in real life, but it just got misinterpreted. So we have a Christ and then we have the Antichrist, which has always been plagued.
Word.
What if it's really similar, but per se it's already been perverted to where the Antichrist, I mean the anti Santa Claus is Krampus.
You want me to tie that shit up with another shit that I found out? Remember Sinterklaas? Not Santa Claus.
Yeah, yeah,
Sinterklaas?
yeah.
Well, the story of Sinterklaas, hashtag look it up. The Netherlands, a lot of countries in the Baltics, including Austria, today are celebrating Sinterklaas around the world right now in Northern Europe. And the story goes that Sinterklaas slays Satan, and then he makes a pact and starts bargaining with Satan. And in exchange of Satan's freedom, he's supposed to help Sinterklaas one time a year delivering gifts to good kids. And in return, Sinterklaas would allow, listen to what Sinterklaas does. Sinterklaas would allow Satan to take the bad kids into his dungeon to get devoured at their bellies. Does this connect back to Cronus or not? And under whose authority? Under whose authority are you taking my? Let's say my kid is bad. Under whose authority are you taking my bad kid? And this is still to this day worldwide fucking celebrated festival of Sinterklaas happening right now. 12-day celebration in the Baltics. Look it up. It's all over TikTok. And it all revolves around child trafficking. You're trafficking those bad kids, and you're letting Satan eat them at their belly, just like Cronus used to. It's fucking wild.
Well, they don't all take the kids don't all go disappearing. It's the idea behind
the
it.
idea,
Yeah.
Myth,
I'm pretty sure it's happening. Don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure it's happening 110% because child trafficking is majorly widespread. People don't even realize it. We've had cases here in the USA, which we think is super safe. Nothing ever happens here. But they're celebrating the idea of that type of thing. You get me? Personally, it's fucking wild how you could just pervert it to us. But that's the whole thing, though. When you were growing up, you didn't think about those things. You either thought about getting gifts or spending time with family, even though it's family you might not like. You get me?
Word. And drinking, right? As an adult now.
But we were privileged enough to have that, though. You got me? Because realistically, we didn't experience anything bad happening to us at Christmas. You get me? In the sense that something went wrong, somebody got kidnapped or anything like that. So I will say we are pretty privileged just because of that, whether it is or it's not happening.
You don't think that, for example, and I guess I'm just using your kid as an example because that's the example that you brought in. You don't think your kid is getting stolen away not only from knowledge but also his childhood by feeding that consumption and part of it? I mean, think about it. At this very age, you're not learning about the birth of Christ as it's supposed to be, right? Christmas. You're learning how to challenge Scripture, how to challenge Christ on a very early age, and ultimately just become a pagan worshiper consumer.
No, just for the simple reason that you have to think about it, that it's a kid. You give your kids everything you want and that you can.
And that I never had, so who will fuck my... Yeah, I get you.
That's the only thing that I'm going to fight you on, just because it is technically that to a certain degree. But for example, if your kid is used to seeing all this stuff and it happening, you're gonna tell me that they're doing it willingly. No, it's just something that they have second nature to them. So I can't necessarily agree with that, but I do agree to the whole point that if they're old enough and they don't value that, that's a different story. You get me? Because I'll go back to our childhood. Even at the most purest stage, we that came from humble beginnings, we didn't have a lot. Our parents still gave us something at one point or another. We didn't have it as bad where, I'll give you a good one. In the Mexican holiday, for the people that can't really do Christmas, they'll do El Día de los Reyes Magos, which is like 6 or 8 days after Christmas, and they leave their shoes outside to hopefully receive something from the Reyes Magos. But in Mexico, it's a either or type of deal. You get me? Now we just use it as an excuse to eat pan and hot chocolate. You get me? Or who gets the little niño, whatever the fuck it is. You get me? So I don't know. I in the most plainest sense, it's still something that we're losing touch out of.
I have to agree with you to a certain point. And mad shout outs to K4V3, Cave Podcast.
Yes, sir.
Joe Reezy, mad shout outs to him because we were fucking exchanging a lot of information last night. And he's also featured on our 200th episode coming up in the next week.
Banger.
This episode goes out to you again. You're the listener of the week, dog. this dude came up and he gave me the fucking stalking thing, and it connected the dots to what we were talking on our 200th episode. So this is gonna be like a little mini teaser for the 200th episode when these guys came up and said that a lot of these things revolve around child trafficking. For some reason, it always goes back to child trafficking, and a lot of these holidays. Like if you go back to fucking what Valentine's Day, and we did a Valentine's episode called
Yes, sir.
Valentino on season 3, one of the biggest episodes we've had. If you go back to knowing where Valentine's Day originated, it comes back to being very sexual with underage women and underage kids. Even Muslim holidays, it's kind of weird. There's a lot of Muslim people, Muslim men, because they can't have young women. Sometimes they have young men, young little boys perform dancing rituals for them. And then later on, those boys get raped. It's fucking weird. And I'm talking about 12, 13, 14-year-old teenage kids, bro. And not just boys, girls of all ages.
Well. But we were just talking about it, that 12, 14-year-olds, especially in the back days, could have been considered men and women.
That makes a lot of fucking sense. And again, remember what I told you. Farmers used to speed up the process for the fucking puberty to hit. Holy fuck,
I'll give you a good one. A quinceañera, you're basically telling you that the woman's ready. She's a woman now. You're making
that
a
is a celebration that's very controversial. Wait. A quinceañera is a forthcoming of a woman.
The Filipinos have something really similar.
Native Americans, I did a forthcoming of a man when I was 24 years old with my ex. She is Moscalero Apache. And we did a fucking ritual. I did 3 fucking sweat lodges with fucking real lava stones where it's a forthcoming of a man ritual. And I'm talking about I almost fainted. I finished the fucking thing. And then we went to a Sundance. And then we saw how little women, I'm talking about teenage girls, get brought up into a forthcoming of a womanhood type of celebration also. And then they get married off to other fucking other village tribes. And they mingle their tribes like that. And then their bloods cross at a very young age. Damn. So when do we put a cap on this child trafficking, fucking marrying your daughter at a very young age shit? When? And all for what? For money.
Okay, I agree with the whole money part and everything, but we just have to think in their shoes for a minute. Not saying that it's the correct way, you get me? But think of it just as their shoes in a certain sense. For example, if you didn't have money to take care, especially of an adult male, when they were starting to get older, a lot of people would just kick them out. Hey, you know how to fend for yourself? You are able to work. You don't need us to feed you anymore. You're on your own. Go ahead, do whatever you have to do. Which still happens in a lot of cultures even now. I mean, I know we say 18 is the legal age, but realistically, I mean, let's give a good example. How long have you been taking care of yourself for?
A very long time. Even when I was living with my dad and I got recently adopted, even then, I was still fend for myself. My first job was selling colognes at the age of 15 at fucking parking lots at the mall and shit. At the age of 15 to pay my fucking prepaid phone so I could text my girl. And back then, texts were about fucking 10 cents a text.
Some bullshit.
Holy
like
fuck! Yeah, you could only you could only send and receive 10 texts with $1.
So I would really just like to know, especially just because there's a big misconception how what we see as kids now to what people saw as kids back then. I mean, if we're talking about the meat Billy being still really young, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I'll give you 12, 13 still, you get me? But back then, I'm telling you, my grandmother got married at 13 years old. You get me? To another kid, which my grandpa was only 15. You get me?
Wow.
So I don't know. Like I said, I'm not debating none of it. I mean, shit, if they're taking 0, 1-month-olds up to 13, you get me, 110% child trafficking, they're definitely getting but I mean, let's make that distinctive line as well.
This also, put it into contracts to why it's happening. However, whatever the case, we're not condoning child trafficking. We're just bringing you the information.
Fuck no, fuck child trafficking, 110%. You get me?
And by all means, remember that Christmas is not a time just to consume and gift presents to, and it's not just about the fucking economy booming or not booming. It's not about Donald Trump or Biden. It's about being with your families and being thankful for another beautiful year, enjoying the hot cocoa, enjoying the beautiful food, spending time with your mothers while you have them. And and giving your kids what you never had. And it doesn't mean the iPad or the next iPhone, or it doesn't No, it's giving the value of it, the love, the warmth of family love on a fucking nuclear family as much as you can. And that's what it really is about. On top of all of this, guys, this is episode 198. Like Paranoid Radio Podcast, and we want to fucking wish all of you guys happy fucking holidays. We really hope that you enjoyed this episode and enjoy the next 2 episodes gonna drop. Episode 1, no, it's actually 197. And 198 drops this Friday with Flashy Friday, and 199 is gonna drop next week, and then 200 is gonna drop on Friday. So we're 3 episodes away from the big 200th hour of entertainment, which is already in the bank of knowledge, and I'm gonna start dropping teaser trailers soon. I want to thank all of you guys for being here, and do not forget that this episode is brought to you by Los Cuñados Bullies. You can find Los Cuñados Bullies on Instagram, Los_Cuñados_Bullies. Big Tank, let them know one more time where they can find you.
You guys will deal catch me at EKNAT626. That is my personal page. If you guys have any info, questions, or if you guys just want to tell us I'm fucking wrong, I'm all up for the debate. But once again, go check out Los Cuñados Bullies. Baddest ventures in the game, straight gorillas, my people.
Oh, they are bad as fuck. He just sold out, so he's doing something right. Ladies and gentlemen, I saw a massive shout out to my homie Juan at work, because he's a Christian, and he told me something that makes a lot of sense. He goes, Santa Claus ain't coming to town, but Jesus Christ is. Hey! I'm not a Christian, but that's a good one, dog. Man, shout out to one of you. Drop a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. That allows other people to enjoy the show as much as I enjoy making it. And this is Paranoid Radio. Check us out at paranoidradio.com. Again, ladies and gentlemen, happy fucking holidays. Homie boys here at Paranoid Radio Podcast. Thank you so much for being here, Big Tank. I love you. So,
till the next time.
Paranoid Radio.